Welcome to Equity and Excellence. In this video, we'll talk about the 5 core competencies of the E-squared school, the schools that achieve equity and excellence, based upon research in all 50 states and more than 30 countries. I'm Doug Reeves. Thanks for joining us. The core competencies of equity and excellence schools are as follows. First of all, focus. They follow the law of 6, no more than 6 priorities. Too often we see schools playing whack-a-mole, trying to achieve equity and excellence by dozens of different programs. But once you have more than 6 priorities, you might as well have none. Our research in more than 2,000 schools demonstrates convincingly that there's an inverse relationship between the number of priorities you have and your ability to have a positive impact on student achievement and educational equity. So focus is number 1, and we help you achieve focus with our trademarked Impact Insight process that allows you to inventory all of your initiatives, identify the degree of implementation of those initiatives, and then make sure that you focus your energies only on those that have the greatest impact. If we've learned anything in this research, it is your practices, not the products you buy, not the programs that you buy. It's your practices that matter, and will help you focus on the 6 most important things. The second core competency is collective efficacy. Now, a lot has been written and said about efficacy, and I want to suggest we need to make this much more clear. Efficacy is not about the songs and dances about how important we are. Efficacy is about the bone-deep belief that you and I influence student achievement. So don't ask people, are you efficacious? Ask them instead this question: what causes student achievement? In some schools, the answer to that is, well, it's really beyond my control. It's parents, it's sleep deprivation, it's drugs, it's alcohol, it's firearms, it's parents, it's all the things I can't control. So what does that make us, potted plants? Sure, those things happen. But in the high efficacy schools, you'll get answers like, what causes student achievement? Answers like, it's instruction, it's leadership, it's relationships with our students, and all the factors you and I control. Now, I'm not naive. I know that there's factors outside of school that you and I don't influence or control. But a highly efficacious school knows that the more factors that we have that we do influence, that we do control, compared to those that we can't, leads to efficacy, which leads to equity and excellence. The third core competency of the equity and excellence school is feedback. The acronym to remember on feedback is FAST: fair, accurate, specific, and timely. And when we talk about feedback, we're talking not only about feedback to students that's fair, accurate, specific, and timely, but also feedback to teachers and feedback to administrators. We have to have all 3 of those feedback systems working well. So we get rid of things like toxic rating systems that are inherently demotivating and inaccurate. We push to the side toxic teacher evaluation systems that are also inaccurate and demotivating, and the same with administrator evaluations. I've never seen anybody evaluated into better performance. I've seen a lot of people coached into better performance. So we help you, for students and teachers and leaders, have effective feedback and coaching systems that lets you get better every single day. The 4th core competency of E-squared schools, that is equity and excellence schools, is instructional effectiveness. And the key here is differentiated instructional support. We have veteran teachers. We have a huge number of people entering our profession. Did you know that the median experience of teachers has declined from 15 years, just a few years ago, to 3 years today? How can we possibly have the same feedback systems for every teacher when they have wildly different needs? Some people need help on instructional delivery, others on assessment, others on planning, others on classroom management. So we provide differentiated support based exactly on what your individual needs are. The final core competency of the E-squared schools, equity and excellence, is instructional and leadership effectiveness. There's a lot of talk about instructional leadership, but the truth is, after decades of talking about instructional leadership, it's honored more the breach than the observance. When we talk about instructional leadership, we're talking about the specific actions that administrators, teacher leaders, and district leaders have that directly influence student achievement. And we recognize that we have to get rid of this Superman, Superwoman myth that one person does it all. We help you build leadership teams that together can collaborate not only on building the future generations of teachers and leaders, but also on instructional excellence, on effective feedback, community relationships, effective communication, and all the other elements that in our trademarked leadership performance matrix help you maximize leadership performance. So those are the 5 core competencies: focus, collective efficacy, feedback that's fair, accurate, specific, and timely, instructional effectiveness, and leadership effectiveness. If we get those 5 things right, you will have equity and excellence in your schools.